Okay, so welcome everybody to this IBF Breathing Arts workshop with our dear friend Rabie Hayek. Um, just to introduce our team. So I'm the leader of this group. My name is Robin Lawley, and I'm a breath worker and musician, and we love doing this and sharing with the world uh, all, all this connection between conscious breathing and creative expression. Other members of our team are Tanya. So, Tanya, would you like to introduce yourself for a moment?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tanya Gorviran. I'm a breath worker here in the United States in Rhode Island. And I am so thrilled to be here today with Rabie and joined by our other member of the team, Orlando.
Okay, so Orlando.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? My name is Orlando. I myself am also a breath worker based out of Colombia, but also in the United States. And just wonderful being part of the Breathing Arts team to help put together all these wonderful, amazing workshops for you on a monthly basis. So enjoy. All right.
Okay, so passing it on to Rabia. Off you go. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. We're really looking forward to what you're offering us today.
Oh, thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you, family. Hello, IBF family, International Breathwork Foundation, people that are here, and those that might have just heard, hey, there's a breathing workshop about breathing together. Let's go see what this is about. And so uh, you have arrived, and so arrive into your breath, even as you're listening and the mind is moving. Arrive in that breath. Let there be sound to your breath. We're re-owning some of the vocabulary of our life force intelligence when we breathe consciously. And so, just for a moment, taking a tender moment and honoring one of the founding members of the IBF that just passed to the across the veil, Judy Gee, and just wanted to take a breath with the community and honoring the way that we ritual, that we don't just show up in class and not look at life, but rather embrace it. So, welcome my emotions today. Yours are welcome, yours are in a safe place. And so, yeah, let's take a breath together so as to empty out, and then let's just take an honoring breath for Judy's life. So, just check in with the posture, breathe in to empty out together, blow it out. And let's breathe in this breath together. And let's blow it out into the world. Thank you, Judy, for her beautiful contribution. And thank you, family, for letting emotions be at home. And so I begin as we are in the breathing arts space today. This is one of the wonderful missions at the IBF that is incubating the way conscious breathing weaves art into our life, and vice versa, the way art is born and then inspires us to an awe inspiring breath. And so, this is a piece called Breathe that I wrote back pre 2012 somewhere. If I say move, you feel one way. And if I say breathe, what do you do? If I say to you jump, you will either feel invited or challenged or both. But if I say breathe, what do you hear? And what do you do? And what do you not do? Because the invitation was to breathe, not to not breathe. But you say I'm breathing anyway, and I say there's much more than that to say. Anytime someone asked you to breathe in this life, they weren't asking you to breathe on automatic. They were asking you to breathe from that place that has the power to release the most traumatic. Breathe from that place, thank you, Max. That place where the doors only open swinging inwards. I'm gonna let you guys read along. 1 deep breath, you take a step. 10 deep breaths, you start the ride inwards. And from some of you, the first question was, why breathe differently? And I exclaimed that it is in order to live life differently. Would you like to have buttons that you can press that shift you off and away from stress? There is this life force waiting to fly you away to kiss shores of bliss doors that again only open swinging inwards. You can push into the outer world but never enter these worlds. That means that when you hear me or your mother or brother, sister or beloved others say to breathe, take this spiritual power that is pumping your heart. Spirit meaning breath in so many languages, and I even saw it represented in the hieroglyphic art. So extrapolate and see that spiritual means about the breath and with the breath. Let's take a look at one of the creation accounts and see how much the breath was revered by the old. God breathed the breath of life into man, and man became a living soul. So in the religions, it was the way man was shaped from God's role. It was long forgotten, but Christians used to breathe together to unite their spirits into peace that surpasses any personal or collective fright. Meditation teachings won't be dosed without the breathing. In fact, while we're on the topic, let me say, for us to take the hint from the original forms of yoga from back in the day. Asana, pranayama, then the elevation, that means postures, then the breathing, and then the meditation. Unless you're a fan of sitting fighting with the mind, and if you are, you'll sit there, not breathe, and you'll push rewind. You'll act like these words landed on deaf ears. The part I get sad about is that you might go on suffering for years. It's hard, but it's simple if you let yourself look at it. But the looking takes courage, and sometimes that's hard to make flourish. So that's the moment that you reach out for the breath. Hear me, I'm your brother, and we were supposed to take notice of when another is having moments where we gift the great reminder to breathe. But it hurts, you yelled back, and your heartbeat sped up and you wanted to crack, but a part of you felt me, it heard me, it breathed deep. Those doors pushed inwards, and next came the heap of the tears that they came to release the pressured space. They came to wash your face, to let you loose, to find this breathing place. Look at your childlike grace in your eyes and on your face that started in you, building space. Trust me here, brother and sister, we may not leave a trace. And you will feel the clarity of something big's embrace. Larger than life, but you can breathe it out. I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, so you can shout it out. Shouts are breaths too, songs are breaths too, and if you let them out with conscious chaperones, they will serve you. They will use the breath to deliver the cup that clears today of all past regrets and future fears, dropping loads of multicolored tears. This cup I speak of is not the one filled with beers, but the cup of breath that steers, that moves your spirit to listen with new ears, to guide your love to live new cheers, that make your next breath a toast to the new years that you can live on into without carrying that old stuff. I just want you to remember that I know it's tough, but I'm not going anywhere. So just use this new friend, this breath. It will be with you literally until the end. And notice that I did not ask you to move. I did not ask you to jump. But I did ask you to breathe. And from this point on, promise you'll remember that one word and exactly what it means. Woo. All right. And so let that reflect upon your heart and your experience as I wipe my multicolored tears, blow my nose. I never know how art's gonna come out, huh? Like that? Whether with tears celebrating a friend, uh, or in class together moving the spirit. Let's take a breath. Let's take a few. And I invite you to actually unmute and allow yourself to hear the breaths of your community, unless you're in a loud place. Listen and let's breathe. Actually, it's funny. Zoom will actually cut out your microphone and we won't hear anybody's breath, so it won't work. Technology just stopped me. It was like, whoa, nope. All right, so we'll get to that possibly in a louder section, actually, where it will pick it up in the mic. I might have you unmute, so stay with that concept, because where I was going was we're living in a society where if you move your breath to the point where we hear it, someone comes and checks on you. Are you okay? You okay? I hear you. Are you okay? And that's beautiful too, right? But what if you join me today in shifting back this concept of the sound of our breath is absolutely part of what we've been given. I was driving in the forests of mid-Missouri, just touched by the changes of the colors, and I was breathing, and I was like, wow, we exchange breath with the trees, but we never really hear it. If we're still, obviously in the winds, you can hear the winds, but my point is, I was moved by the idea that we've been given the sound of our breath to be able to hear our exchange, to be able to hear when we're breathing together. And so there's something so beautiful that is that gift, and yet I still come upon people that might have studied a conscious breathing modality where, because the modality had offered up something where sound wasn't a part of it, or maybe they were breathing very softly and gently, which in their approach to all of it, any breaths. Thank you for switching that. I forgot to remove the screen share. But the sound of breath becoming something we re-own, because it is part of the vocabulary of your own breathing. May I prove it? Oh, it was laid into your path in one of the most beautiful places. The sound of your mother's breathing was your first teacher. Let that hit. Just let that hit. Let it hit. Let it hit. Let it go deep. Because in month 4, our ears open up. We're inside of mom, and creation had it, right? I didn't make this up. Creation had it that for 5 months we sit inside of mom, hearing the sound of breath as our most intimate sound, most near us, and the sound of breath becomes something. It becomes a channel. I was just teaching a class of pregnant mothers a week ago. One of them just had her baby. Wow, wow. I'm so touched and moved. But I was teaching them that the sound of their breath is a communication channel to their child. So why not heighten it? Instead of breathing completely softly and dedicating conscious breathing to a certain way, release that. And I tell you, you find new doors. You find beautiful things that come from simple things like moving the sound of my breathing. Now, what do I mean? The ability to breathe breathing in with the yogis had a lot to say about creating the sniff as the inhale happens. And when we get into faster modes of breathing and using the sound through the nostrils, the ability for that sound to be created means that I'm moving the air to a certain velocity, and that velocity produces things. And so, mouth breathing, although I don't utilize it for most conscious breathing practices, it is very powerful because it most intimately, it most imitates that sound that we heard of mom breathing. Can we just celebrate that for a second? Mom breathing and that sound being our first teacher. Um, I'm actually, at times in today's share, I'll be sharing in more speak towards the beginning, and I like interaction. And I'll ask for an oh yes every here and there. So go ahead and unmute for me, unless you're in a loud place. I'm not doing this as a cheerleader segment, asking for your oh yes, woo, but rather, yes means a lot to us. When we say oh yes in our body temple, we land things. And so when I'm in a group in person, we start to churn through an understanding with some of these oh yeses. When we mute out, don't get that. And so there will be times where I'll say, can I get an oh yes? And if oh no is what you got, let me know that, meaning you didn't feel what it was or what it came up. And that also speaks out to me so I know what's going on, or speaks very much to your experience. And so, and God breathed the breath of life into man, and man became a living soul. One of the creation accounts, that's the biblical one. But if you slow it down and really look at how high the breath is being revered, and now I'm asking you to revere the sound of your breath, big, uh, and man became a living soul, or you know what I mean, outside of gender, man, woman, we became a living soul. And therefore, this concept that we are breathing, I'd like to expand to the entire group today. And you may have heard this before, that all of the words ending in spire used to be connected to the breath. And so it's not your respiratory system. We rush by that word so often, respiratory, but it is your respiratory system. Respiratory system. And when we walk the earth knowing that, perhaps each breath becoming a dance with spirit. Because again, it wasn't breathe. The word breathe, I think, was a reduction. Why? Because it's this one syllable, kind of doesn't say much. Breathe, huh? Breathe. It's just this one syllable. But however, listen, respire means to spirit again. Oh, what did we just paint over all of life if we look at breathing as spiriting again? And this brings me to a fascination with breath workers. Many of us have left the practice at the mat, as we say in yoga. And then I'll come talking to people about situational breath work and the use of each breath becoming inspired. And you can see that there's two very beautiful applications attempting to come together and become one thing, this way that we look at breath, awakening an experience of oneness. Can I get a oh yes? Is that landing for
Oh
anyone?
yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Feel
yeah.
that, family. There's a intimacy to that yes. We're in the yes together in this container. And so if respire, expire, aspire, transpire all used to be connected to the breath, how, okay, wait, the language creators must have been some pretty cool people and connected to their breathing, to think of breathing as spiriting again. And so in my description of this class, I was describing a state. And it's a state that I've seen in other breath workers and other healers. And sometimes I don't know if they even recognized what got that there. But I feel that I've seen it. And I've come to share it with you today.
Yes.
from behind, from and I say that with excitement because it's exciting to unveil that we mustn't leave the breath at the mat. Yes, we have a huge healing practice that happens in a certain way. Conscious connected breathing on your back is not conscious connected breathing sitting up. Wim Hof brought about conscious connected breathing sitting up at one point. Stung by that, I studied with him 13 years ago before the big hoopla when he first came to LA, and it shifted my trajectory. And you'll see that today with the technique I'm going to help. We're going to connect with, but this come from of spiriting again means that in any activity, my ability to be with my breath most intimately is doing something that I'm now going to unpack for you that hit me hard very early. I asked one of my teachers, Dr. Acharya Yogesh, I said, give it to me in layman's terms. Why are we breathing consciously? Why? What? What is it doing most quickly? What's happening? And he said, to get body, mind, and spirit moving in one powerful direction. You're going to have to just deal with the madman laughs today. There are things that struck me when they first struck me, and to get hit with it again and feel the power of that for a second. Now, let me unpack that for all of you that are like, well, that sounds very new agey. Why don't you actually unpack that in reality then? Body, mind, and spirit moving in one direction. Well, if you're sitting at your desk and your right foot's tapping, and your body's doing one thing, and your mind's thinking about what I'm going to do later, or on whatever else, and your breath's doing a third thing, that's body, mind, and spirit moving in three directions. How powerful could you be if you're split in three? Can I get oh yes? Is that landing?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Cool. All right. Thank you. And so from that place now breathe. And as you're hearing more of this conceptual stuff, this place where we come together, con, together, conceptual, conspire, meant to spirit together. Way before the word conspiracy was born in 1386 and the concept of conspiracy theory was born in 1909, if you follow the etymology backwards, we have to spirit together. And we have the Christians hanging out doing something called conspiratio. Absolutely fascinating. When it comes to unity, they were practicing something where if you go read up on the Christian theologians writing about it, they said that people blew into each other's mouths. Whew! You want to talk about intimate? Like, do you think that someone that blew into someone's mouth later that day went and cheated them in the square, or did it possibly bring us together in a beautiful way? Some European historians believe that it was part of the tight knitting of Europe, that in those churches and in those places there was conspiratio. And how cool to unlock this word from to unite for illegal purposes to let's own it again, to spirit together. Can I get a oh yes to that? Woo.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Oh
Feel
yeah.
Own it. Own it, because let me remind you that access to the entire world is in this container. And often I'll say it when sharing breath work with a group, and I'm going to invite all of you that do group work to utter these words into a room and watch what happens when you say, I'm reminding everyone that access to the entire world is in this room. Ooh, I've watched the whole room and all of the mastery in each person hear me and go, ooh, yeah. Because what does it do? First of all, it exercises the truth, the universal truth, that the entire one is in each of us. The entire one, the entire one, the entirety. And therefore, when we bring all of us together and celebrate the entire connection, the feeling of disempowerment that we can't affect the whole is gone. Can I get a oh yes?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Oh,
feel that.
yeah.
Yes. And so we are building an understanding till it becomes an overstanding. And we're standing over it, looking down with dominion over this place, knowing that oneness has the wheel and that you have access to it via your breathing. Now, again, to the breath workers in the room, I've been to sessions where there's so many people in the room, but because we've distilled breath work as a healing modality and we look at it as medicine and therefore we're looking at it for us often, not all the time, don't get me wrong, but go there with me for a second that I've been in a room of 100 people where people were breathing for themselves in such a way and for their life path and completely forgot about the oneness spectacle in the room. Oh, the fact that when we spirit together conspire, we are celebrating that the same spirit in me is in you. And that is why breathing together is the best place for us to meet to create peace on planet Earth. It's not peace talks. Peace talks have gotten us only so far, but the reason is because the breath doesn't have a color. It doesn't have a creed. It doesn't have a race. It doesn't have a separator. Therefore, when we breathe together, we really are, without any other effort, celebrating our oneness, our connection, our the fact that we are one and that these separations are illusion. Can I get a oh yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And so you say, wait a minute, if it's that simple, why haven't we done it? And it is because breathing together hasn't been up on the priority list. And yet it's so free that I set you free today out into the world as ambassadors of it. And I'm going to take a moment to share something, and then we're going to go into some practice. I'm ambassadorizing you today to go out and share this power in the ways that you do, but with a tool, with a symbol. For those of you that don't know my work on the planet, Robin shared a little bit of the Madman vision, or mad vision that came through, I should just say, wildly inviting to have 1 billion people breathe together if we could do it, right? And so the invitation to have 1 billion people breathe together came as something called Do As One, and we, for many years, had something called the Universal Breathing Room. We are rebirthing it now and putting it back out as the World Breathing Room. And at the end, I'll screen share and show it to you. But we realized that we were getting people to breathe together through the Universal Breathing Room. And just to tell you how mystic cool it was, we removed all latency. That means if you logged in here and someone logged in Zimbabwe and someone logged in Egypt, it takes a moment for it to sync the orbs. But once they're synced, you're breathing together. And so take the enrichment of the things I've already mentioned to you about spiriting together, that we are re-spiring, that we are conspiring, and that access to the entire world is through this breath and through this meeting. Then when we breathe together, we begin to infuse in ways that we don't do or invited usually out in the world. And so it's an invitation to create oneness, but we didn't realize that we jumped past one of the coolest things that was available, and that was this. We had the orb breathing to the sound of breath and moving, as many of you have probably breathed with it. I celebrate. Woo, love you all. But we also have a symbol that in its static form means to breathe, take a breath. And so I'm sharing my screen because I'm wanting to share that symbol with you. This here is the emoji called the one breath. And the one breath is seeking to give teachers overnight a symbol that if they just create an agreement with the children or with whomever you're serving, that when I hold this up, or any of the leadership here in the room, or any whomever is leading the group at the time says, we can invite a conscious breath or two or three into the room. And so when I said I'm ambassadorizing all of you, I meant it. I meant I'm inviting you to own that you have a symbol and that all we need is acceptance to be able to utilize it. As if people agree all the way down to Apple putting it in devices, we will then have teenagers of tomorrow texting to their friend the symbol, and then the friend will receive it and go. So can I get oh yes? Can we celebrate?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And so now let me give you the Trojan horse. This is not just a conscious breathing symbol that will then ignite conscious breaths, but because of its other use that we've used it for already, it's ignited people breathing together since 777. We have served up millions of breaths, literally. How cool, how fun. The internet's been breathing since then, but the aspect of having an emoji and then sending it out into the world, beyond the aspect of uniting a billion people, but excuse me, beyond the going back, the Trojan horse is this: you breathe with it, you're breathing with it, but the minute there are 10 of us in a room and we hold it up, now we're breathing together. Had to get that out. That's the Trojan horse aspect here. This is a oneness invitation, but it won't look like it, and hence the Trojan horse, right? Anybody that isn't for that, well, too bad, because as long as we have a conscious breathing emoji, we have a way to breathe together and invite it. The moment it's in a stadium, and everybody before a game goes, now we're breathing together, and yay, yay, I celebrate.
Hey.
So feel that, own that. This was part of my invitation today, was to let you know that we're putting a tool out in the planet. You may want to play along in any way that you do. But putting that aside now, let's enjoy some practice. All right. And so pulling up my own guide sheet here, what I want to share with you all in practice today. So did that land, by the way, for some of you that breath workers, where we've been in groups, but people are breathing for their singular life path and not connecting into the oneness whole? Have we seen that? Can I get a oh yes or oh no?
Oh, yeah.
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 You still want to share, Rabie, your screen?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't. That's not part of my skill set yet, is the hopping on and off of screen share. I'll add it soon. Thank you so much. Learning to do better online these days. So you cannot breathe a future or a past breath. The breath is definitively connected to the now. When that lands for you, again, it's not breathing at the mat is medicine and then the rest of the time I'm just breathing passively, or when I breathe consciously, I'm breathing consciously for the moment. The ability for us to awaken a state where there is an ongoing touch to your highest good, because body, mind, and breath are not only moving together in one direction, but they've been doing so for a period of time. You begin to feel the momentum of that. And there is something so beautiful that we've been given. As we breathe, we celebrate the masculine and feminine force with every breath. We fill the space, masculine forces. We empty the space, become the space, feminine forces. But there comes a moment that the yogis wrote about, where spirit is completely at home in, not needing to leave. There is no longer a breath happening, and you fall into something called nirvikalpa samadhi, the breathless breath. I entered this state at one point utilizing the breath work that I'm sharing with you after particular ceremonies, and going after ceremonies doing breath work and finding it, I was able to go back to it. And I'm telling you this because I want to share with you that our states of being change as we respire more often. We spirit again, and one day something you never thought would even happen in the body will show you something different. And the ability for it to become the evolutionary technology, conscious breathing. is right in your hands and available for the rest of your life, and it's quite amazing in that way. But because it's free, so many of us have forgotten, or because we learned one technique or one modality, my invitation today is to reopen, empty the cup. And so, all right, going to do a neck stretching series with you that's for counteracting text neck. All right. Was not doing this, teaching this in classes before 3 years ago. But when we have enough time to do so, it's so wonderful. Why is it so wonderful? And for breath work, particularly, is we're going to be doing breathing that particularly is so wonderful when we open up more areas that often we close down. And one of the things we're doing right now by the neck going down, even for this call, we're looking down, this overactivity back here, the clavicle. We start to do some clavicular breathing where we breathe in through pulling of the muscle back here. So in order to, once we stretch it, we create an openness that serves all the entire breathing throughout the entire lung structure only because we opened up more here. And so before we do the neck stretches, I'm just going to ask you right now to be in your body and stretch in any which way your body's asking for. If you want to get up on your feet, you can. If you want to stretch in your seat, you can. But the invitation is not to just do what I'm doing. I'm listening to my body. But I'd like you to just decompress. When we have transcendent conversation, we all, yeah, let there be sound. All good. Stretching, let there be expansion, let there be shoulder rolls or neck rolls. What allows you to feel the decompression of gravity. And what we find after working with thousands of people in just using conscious breathing practice for 15 minutes, if they just stretch right before, just that extra decompression of a few millimeters off the shoulders creates a difference and makes a difference. All right. Thank you for stretching. Find your way back to your seat if you're not at your seat. Listening to your body for any final little moments and just creating space and creating spaciousness. When the ego hears these conversations we're having about transcendence, it's like, uh-oh, he think he might be trying to kill me. And so it creates tightening. And so I often like to stretch because that tightening, that part of us that's like, what's happening? What are we talking about? And we stretch and we breathe. Take a deep breath and sigh it out. Create some sigh space. Another big sigh with voice. Let it out. Breathe in. And this time, do it with a big H, no voice, but it's a sigh, but big H. Reawakening sound. One more, big H, exhale. Okay, when we sigh, we think of it as just a thing humans do. It's a sigh. But one of the reasons it's great at the beginning of any work, just letting you know, something very amazing to me and beautiful to me is the representation up the spine in the yogic context. If you go look at Yogananda's illustrations, you see the rainbow be set up the spine, right? The rainbow, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. It's amazing to me right now that on the planet, just because of the way that's been beset to a group, and saying nothing about all these separations, by the way, but humans are being made to look at a rainbow as something that it is much more than just that. And we are also being polarized against it. I knew I was going to talk about this today. I want people to get that you must re-own, no matter what you think of what that is and what's going on, you must own the colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, white. That violet to white is your opening at the top of your head where all of your spiritual energy comes in. That's what that is. It's not just after the rain we see a rainbow. It is the rainbow pattern through your magnificence, wanting to ignite your brilliance. That's what a rainbow is. And when you sigh, the notes from C all the way back down to C at your base, ah, It's like me taking an energetic feather and going through your spine and going cleany, clean, clean, cleany, clean, clean, and giving. So own that you sighing is no longer mundane. You creating sound with your breath is not mundane. Once you create a relationship to that sound, like when I just went in there right there, just on one breath, one exhale, I have a relationship with that because I love it. And so it has been empowered. Sighing. Some of you may have sighed completely passive when I said, let's do a sigh. No judgment, right? I know what sighs, I get it. But to sigh and know what it is, and now here comes its friend, yawning. When we do the breath, we enter further into the breath, yawns are going to start to be ignited. In fact, me bringing it up might start to ignite yawns. Yawn big if a yawn shows up. Okay. In our society, we're taught what yawn either means you're tired or you're bored. So we're in a class, don't yawn. No. Actually, it's funny when I work with clients one on one. I say, if anybody comes to the door, they're going to think we're crazy because you're yawning and I'm yawning. We're both yawning together. The instructor's yawning, person's yawning. Because yawning is a decompactor, decompressor, natural release. And we're sitting there holding it back. Oh my. And so the invitation, particularly when we go to doing rounds of the breath work, is that when a yawn shows up, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't, I have to finish this round for, nope, you're not doing that for me. Yawn. And yawn big. When I see you yawn, you can hear me. It's a gold star. It's so good to yawn and own it forever. Leave this class owning, yawning as a release, as a decompactor, decompressor. And then when you begin to yawn bigger and bigger, you find that the release has been owned by you, no longer held back by some societal idea, but rather yawning big so as to release. And so remember what I'd said about conscious breathing gets body, mind, and spirit moving in one direction? You know that concept I gave you, the foot tapping and us moving in three directions? When you yawn, your foot doesn't keep tapping, does it? It doesn't. Life had it that a yawn would bring you a conscious breath, and if you were willing, it would pull body, mind, and spirit moving in one direction again and into the respiratory system we ride. All right. You cannot breathe a future or a past breath. The breath is definitively always in the present. Please use your sighs, use your yawns. And now here we go with another three lovely sighs. Two of them with voice and the last one just with a H. Here we go. Checking in with the posture first, please. A little tug to the top of the head from inside, tuck of the chin, pull the shoulders down, and then let them go. Back into excellent posture. We're going to do the neck stretches here next, okay? Take the breath in. Sigh it out. Good. Let the sigh be big. Let it go from high notes all the way down to low notes. Here we go. Good. Last one we're going to take with just an H, filling up the lungs on all sides. Breathe it in. And good. 5 moves, releasing the neck from text neck. Here we go. First move, you're going to look, don't do it yet, see what we're doing first. You're going to look all the way left, nice and easy, and you're going to pull your shoulders back as you're sitting in your seat. Have a look to the left for about 7.5 seconds to 15 seconds we go total on both sides. So now you're going to let go, look back to the front, let go of your shoulders. Look to the right all the way, slowly. Once it's there, hold it, pull the shoulders back. And by pulling them back, you can feel what stretch we're getting in the neck. Use it, enjoy it. This is not for breathing sake, this is for stretching sake. Let go. We're going to do both sides one more time. Take a look to all the way to the other side. Hold, pulling back the shoulders. You feel where we're stretching the neck. Very good. And take it to the other side. And pull the shoulders back, looking all the way to the right, the 180. And bring it back. Take a breath to yourself. Stretching the neck forward. Okay, but not down. Forward, nice and easy. Bringing it back. You're going to let it rest back in that crook, that little spot as you bring it back. Forward one more time, stretching nice and easy. You're stretching that parts of the neck that all the way in the rear and the back there get a little love. And then back into the crux of your top of your spine. Good. And let it go. Take a breath. This next one's my favorite one. It's probably the hardest one. Please take a look. I'm going to turn my neck and look up to this center point above my head here. And so turning, using my eyes, looking up, and once I get the spot, I stay there. The neck gets a nice slow twist. Don't overdo it. And let it go. And looking from the other side, I'm going to look up to that center point. Neck creates a twist, very slight twist. It's natural. Good. Let it go. We're going to go again on each side, looking up to the center. Good. Other side. Good. Put the hands here on the chest. Roll the neck back very naturally, slowly, easily, and once you're at that spot where you can't go further, hold it and do nothing. Just a stretch to the front of the neck. Let it go. As your neck rolls forward, you're going to look down at your knuckles. And that's how you know you've gone far enough, and then hold it. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. It's natural. It's looking down at the knuckles. It's one more time. Roll the neck back. Look up. Then roll it forward. And look down at the knuckles. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. Perhaps accentuate it just a little bit. Drop the hands. The last move they call the Janet Jackson. Pulling the neck this way from the center. And back to the center. Pulling off center to the other side. Chin still forward. You can lean a little bit with the shoulder down. And bring it back. One more time. To the left. And back. And to the right. And back. Take a breath and feel for space in the upper chest. Simple and very slight, but nice. Anybody get some space? A little bit of space. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Yes? Can I get oh yes?
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. No, all good. Okay. Great. Now take your next few breaths. Feel for more space, please. And reverse wire something for me, okay? Realize, oh wait, if I just got more space added to my lung capacity. Granted, even though it seems it's all up here, it's much more connected all the way around. The neck, we just released the neck. You release this entire connection to the clavicle, which makes us breathe incorrectly when we're pulling from up here. If a person's, you ever see somebody breathing like this? They're pulling from their clavicle back here, and it creates, you'll have muscle tension in the back from a certain age onward if a person doesn't do anything with it. And so the idea here, letting go, allowing, all right, allowing space, allowing the connectivity to the rest of my breathing apparatus, and it was freed up with that. Now don't look down at a phone for the next 15 minutes, which you won't because we're in practice. But when I do the neck stretches, that is a discipline I follow because you just gave it the luxury. Don't go right back in, right? And so, is anybody feeling a nice little up to the neck? Little hands in the air for anybody feeling that, and own that. That's your oh yes to, you know what? Maybe I have looked down at the phone quite a bit, and I'll own this stretch today and utilize it into the future. All right. We're going to utilize a technique now to open up and awaken your diaphragm, your breathing muscle. How awesome to get to gift to the breathwork world something from the singing world. I have a bachelor's in music. I have a degree in voice. I taught singing for 13 years of my life. It's what actually led me to breathwork, was my interest in sharing with my singing students more about their breath and their breath power. And so it took off from there. And so we're going to do something that's going to seem kind of odd. It's going to have a little group beatbox going here in a minute. Because one of the ways that we are able to empower our breathing muscle is by using something called plosives. Plosives are unvoiced syllables. All right. It also becomes an energetic clearing, so it's kind of a buy one get one free. But you're going to see how your voice will be more powerful when we're done with it. And so I'm going to do something right now and have you just, and you don't need to unmute. When we're in a big group, it's really fun hearing everybody, yes, yes, but this one's just for you right now. And it may sound odd what I'm saying. It's a statement that means nothing. But you're going to go, hey over there, hey over there. Just say it to yourself and say it as loud as you can right now without any pressure on your voice. Hey over there. And that big H, okay, has the ability to push a lot of voice. When we're done with the plosives, you'll see that the hey over there you just did was quiet, because we empowered the ability for your breath to go using the muscle you've been given. And we don't have a window on our breathing apparatus, nor do we want one. But nobody can come up and be like, oh yeah, Robin, look, your diaphragm's looking weak right there. Let's go ahead and let's empower it. We can't do that. You have to know. One way to know, if you're soft-spoken and the diaphragmatic ability to push your breath, if you're isn't there because your voice is soft, the ability to work that diaphragm will give you more power with your voice. Likewise, people that have huge boisterous voices have strong diaphragms, and therefore their ability to use it for conscious breathing once they know what they're doing, amazing work I've seen. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful, just because the person already developed it. But we can develop it now. All right, I first saw it at the age of 16 studying with an opera singer in Germany that only gave the techniques to people that loved music dearly. You wouldn't charge anybody, but you had to love music so much and prove it to him. So I sang, I proved it, and then he said, if you want a strong and powerful voice, do this in the garden in the morning with the morning dew. And so I did. I loved it, and I love sharing this with people. And so you're going to use 4 syllables. You might write them down if you want to retain this. It's P-U-H, T-U-H, K-U-H, and T-S-S. P-U-H, T-U-H, K-U-H, and T-S-S. That's P, T, K, and Ts. Now notice, 3 open, 1 closed. The 3 open, P, gotta be open. So don't do them like this. Don't go, P, P, that's closed, right? P, P, K, that's K-U-H, it's open. T, that's T-U-H, it's open. Open the mouth. T, T-S-S is closed. Tss. Now, take the right hand. We're going to discover where our diaphragm is. We're going to feel it in action. So let's take the right hand, put it in front of your navel point. And I'm going to ask you to take a deep, deep breath. You're going to let the whole thing out on S. Push through the S. Take a deep breath. Push the S. Keep pushing. And as you push, feel your hand. Something's pulling in your hand. That which is pulling in your hand, that's your diaphragm. That's your diaphragm. That's where it is. Okay? Now, keep your hand there. Did you guys feel that? Hands in the air? Other hand in the air? Okay. Okay, good. Right hand in front of the navel. We're going to now let out 4 at a time. We're going to go puh, 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 puh. And if you look at mine, puh, 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 puh. It's going in while the voice is going out. Puh, 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 puh. All right? That heads inwards, voice and breath head outwards. They're sharp, right? And unlike when we're in a room and people feel all obscure doing this in front of people, you're in your own space, you're muted, you're good. Just go hard, go enjoy yourself. It's so cute. You got to see when we get in this and people start finally letting go, and we do create a big beatbox. Anyway, all right. Put your hand in front of your navel point. Feel the pulsation of your diaphragm. Feel it, go for it. Pulsate 3 sharp ones, and now. All right, and now activate the awareness of your tactile sensations on your hand. Didn't know you were going to hear that sentence today, did you? Activate the awareness of the tactile sensation of your hand and feel when you put it in front of your diaphragm, in front of your navel right there, that when we do these 4, I'm going to have you do them right now, the 4, back to back. Feel how each syllable pulls at the diaphragm differently, like we're at the gym and there's 4 diaphragm machines, and this one does this, and that one does that, and that one does that. Have a feel, okay? Here we go. I'm going to do 4, and then after I'm done, you're going to do 4 as if we're call and response. I'll actually have you unmute. Nobody's listening to you. Here we go. When we come in together, don't worry. So here we go. Going to breathe in. I'll do 4, and then you'll do 4. In fact, you know what? I'm sorry about the muting. I didn't think about it, but all of the distances and the way that it'll get to you and different people, it'll sound like a cacophony of craziness. We'll mute back out. You're going to lead off of me. I'm going to do 4, and then you do 4. All right? That's how we're going. And then I'm going to change it. So do your 4, and then you're going to expect the next 4. All right? Remember, use your awareness of the tactile sensations here behind your hand to feel that the different syllables are pulling differently. We'll put them back to back first. So here we go. Feel this. We're going to go. Feel how they're pulling in different directions? Can I get oh yes? Hand in the air.
Oh, yes.
Pulling in different directions. Your breathing muscle. Whoa. What'll this do to my breathing practice? Wonders. Because it's the muscle running the show with your intention through it, your ability to utilize it for greater harmonious flow of chi. All right, here we go. We're going to continuously now go. I do 4, you do 4, I do 4, you do 4. Right? And here we go. Have fun with it. And one more thing, keep your posture up, okay? Don't let yourself collapse down. Keep your posture up. Keep it going. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, give yourself a round of applause. Unmute for a second. Everybody go for a hey over there. Here we go.
Hey over
Hey
there.
over there. Hey over there.
Hey over there.
Hey over there.
Hey over there.
Let
Hey
that
over there.
Hey over there.
Did anybody feel more power behind their voice? Can I get a yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And so if the voice is backed by the breath, and the breath muscle is what's packing that for me, whoa, rest of your life, you have that with you. So I often like to joke about the fact, like, no one can jump into your body and be like, I'm leaving and I'm taking the plosives technique with me. can't happen. And so these breath teachings are eternal teachings. They're lifers. So it's so worth our time today. I honor your time. I honor that you came together, but you got stuff to go continuously into this with. How awesome. So plosives as a warm up. Okay, some of you wondering, is this the breath work? No, this is the warm up. And yet plosives can be seen as breath work because every time you 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 you're pushing energetics up your spine, and by all means they can be cleared out. Now the beauty of them in this particular breath work, when you're not seated back and you activate breaths and you move things, is that you can have things leave you without reliving the story. Hallelujah for any healing technique where it can leave me, but I'm not reliving the story. And why is that, Rabie? Are you sure? Because energy is energy. Energy is energy, and you're not that big. You're connected to a vast network. Past lives, all kind of amazingness, right? But you and the energy you're carrying right now, not so big. And so when we live with that understanding and we do something like plosives, and I'm already begun feeling differently, I can feel my posture being affected by chi between my vertebrae. I'm going to ask you throughout this experience, beginning now, feel how chi is going between your vertebrae to raise you up. Notice in India, they didn't leave any statues that look like this. They are sitting like this. They're reminding us of the highest possibilities in our being happening through meditation, through the rod being in excellent position. The magic energy rod, okay? I call it in my classes the magic energy rod, your spine. Why? Because spine is mundane, like breathe is mundane. If we were in third grade and they were like, you have a magic energy rod, we would have been on the recess, out in recess later, been like, you have magic energy, I have a magic energy rod, we need to go find out what to do with this thing. But they called it a spine. Spine. And so feel the magic in the breath work that was wired in. Feel the magic of moving plosives to move energy, to activate my my diaphragm, but it's not mundane. It's my spirit. I'm spiriting again. I'm using my respiratory system. This takes it away from, oh, I'm gonna do the breath work before I meditate. Really? Is it not more exciting than that? It is if you look at it as your magic energy rod, that when you sigh, you're sighing a reverse rainbow down through your, with an energetic feather down, cleansing your spine. You see where I'm going with this? That you awaken an experience of oneness by touching all of these buttons that unveil the oneness, that unveil the field of grace and greatness that has within it a channel to your highest good. Don't run past that statement. Connection to your highest good sure can again act like some new agey statement. Woo, great. Connection to your highest good. What happens when I'm out of balance, when I'm eating crappy food, when I'm not breathing, when I'm not paying attention to chi filling up my spine and letting me sit up as I saw in the, and I become that which the yogis never left behind in a statue. I'm curled over like this, not feeling good, feeling all of those other things that are not gonna connect to my highest good, aren't even involved in the channeling to the highest good. But what is involved? Here it is. The activities of my breath. This is why I laugh when I meet with sometimes people that are practicing just one modality, and that's myopic. And I come to say, oh, well, no, there's this, that, and this, the other. Situational breath work is real. It was wired in just like conscious connected breathing, laying on our backs was. It's a gift. It's another gift. So let's pass around the gifts. We stretched, we did a neck series, we did plosives. Now please follow along. We're going to do an anchor breath, we're going to balance, and then we're going to do rounds of a particular way of charging the chi, uniting the chi, uniting the chi. There is something magical about getting on Zoom and we don't talk about it. I love sharing this, it's so fun. The activity of facing my third eye, or my first eye, if you will, to your first eye is powerful. it in fact connects brain mirror neurons in our brain. How do we know that? Rabia has a gallery of pictures of clients showing up in the same exact shade, same exact color after we breathe together for weeks. And we just keep showing up in the same color. And I take pictures for my gallery each time. But I had to theorize at one point. It was beyond funny. It was like, well, what is this? It's mirror neuron activity, and it's beyond our connection of just logical mind. I didn't go put on a certain color this morning and think about it, but it happens, and it shows us. It first happened to me on a magical moment in my life. I was on men's retreat with Michael Beckwith and the wonderful men in Agape, and I can laugh about it. It was so beautiful. We were at the vortexes with Peruvian shaman, activating different intentions into the world, and I noticed that a Israeli man had come onto the retreat the second day, and I'm Palestinian, and Beckwith said, "Hey, does he want to do anything else here at this vortex, intention-wise, for the world?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "I want to hug this Israeli man, and we're going to put intentions out into the world for peace amongst our peoples." And so the next morning, we show up at the morning meditation, and me and this guy Yuda are in the same exact shade, same exact manufacturer. It was a burgundy hoodie from the Gap, and black jeans and black shoes. And Beckwith looked and laughed and pointed and said, "Look, it's a holographic imprint. It's a reverse, it's a reminder. It's letting you know that there was consonance made." How cool. So oneness through our practices of breathing together and intending together are more real than we make until we do so. And so mirror neurons facing each other on Zoom, don't even let that be mundane. Because when we're in a large group, we actually can't do this in the same way. If we're in a big room, only the person sitting in front of me is facing first eye to first eye. But when you do this, we're facing. So the transmissions that we were, Spirit had it that we'd get on Zoom in the big wildness in the world, and we are teaching each other, but we are transmitting. We are mirror neuron connecting. And so I didn't just call the class, say the class had something to do with the experience of oneness to be cute or to be new agey. It's the reality, and it's awesome, and we all deserve to own it. So, okay, we're going to do a 3-breath anchor technique. It's I'm actually going to do the 9-breath anchor with you all. 9-breath anchor technique. We're going to then enter into balance, and then we're going to charge the chi in a particular way. I'll teach it right when we get to it. And it is a simulation, if you will, somewhat of the way Wim Hof works, except more connected to how he taught it in 2012 or pre-2012. I ended up creating 5 techniques off of that one technique, call them the 5 rivers, and it becomes nervous system surgery, like the ability to go in and work with 5 techniques. It's part of what I teach as Life Force Mastery. Today we're going to use one of those approaches, and we're going to do it in rounds once we get there. So checking in with the posture. I didn't check for an yes, so I'm going to. Did people feel what I was saying about chi going between the vertebrae and holding your posture up, not using muscles? Can you begin to feel that just from the practice up until this point? And
Oh,
if not,
yes.
then no. Cool. And if not, all good. Be with your oh no, because that's where we're headed. And when we get there, you'll know. It won't be like, I think I feel it. Nope. Because it's that real, that chi travels up the spine. Then what does it do? It goes between the vertebrae, and it holds you up without the use of musculature. No muscles needed. That is a gift. That is, but awareness. I even have people that have been, used the breath work. Your awareness might be on something, not that. It takes putting awareness on and going, oh, look what I got. Now you know to do it to get back there like it's a map. All right, my dear brothers and sisters of the planet. Access to the entire world is in this container. Check in with your posture. Feel the center of the universe is at your center. when Michael Beckwith stood at the United Nations with the religious leaders of the world, he had them breathe together. And then he said, "We just met at the center." And I was moved that he didn't say, "We just met at the centers." He didn't say that. He said, "We just met at the center." Man, how worthy are you? How amazing are you? The universe thought such a good idea to create you that it made you, became you, and put the access to the center of the universe right there. Laugh about it, smile about it, own it, whatever it is you do with it. But let that truth resonate, because it just changes things from waking up in the morning and being touching life from that place where the ignition of the spirit of oneness doesn't leave at one point. It begins to fire up using chi. And so let's fire it up. Rabia, be quiet, enough talking. All right. And so check in with your posture, feet flat on the ground, if you will. And in checking in with the posture, slight tug to the top of the head, tuck of the chin, shoulders down, and then let it go. And breathing in, blow it out, close the eyes, blow it out long. Breathing in, blow the air out long. All right, go ahead and open your eyes for a moment. I have to teach you something before we go into the anchoring breath. Blowing is a thing that you own. Blowing air out of your mouth is something you own and must re-own to have aboard your breathing vocabulary. Okay? The anchoring breath we're going to use has an inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose with the ujjaya in the back of the throat, which is just a hissing H in the back of the throat, as if I was going, but with my mouth closed. The H resides, the mic will cut it off so you won't hear mine, but an H in the back of the throat with the mouth closed, okay? That's the first exhale. The second, however, is an inhale through the nose out by blowing. This is not blowing. All right? Not blowing. All right? Blowing, notice, again, another funny one, but we get to re-own it today and take it with us. We left blowing at the birthday cake and cool down the soup. That's it, okay? But if you saw in a Sufi text that they saw blowing out to be the second most great power of breathing, and you're like, whoa, calm it down, second most great power, why would that be? Because we were not taught that blowing is a release that happens when we ignite it with intention. Look at the string. The string goes... Blowing is connected to our third chakra center where we store identity stuff. And so the ability to, now notice what happens to people in our lives, right? You see somebody having too much of life and they're like, oh man, they blow. But they're blowing in effect. Life happened, it became too difficult, and they blew. But for us to do so in the cause column, move your blowing of air into the cause column. Now I'm in control of my movement, of my energy, and I take this air and watch. That is a stream of energy leaving me on purpose, and guess whose third chakra is emptied from it? He who blows out to empty out. It's a beautiful ability. You have it, you own it, it's free. And then after we do the second breath of blowing out, the third breath we take in, we breathe in through the nose, we exhale on an H. Now follow along why this is a anchoring technique. When I breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, as the yogis told us, breathing in through the nose passes the passes the breath by the brain, and there I can release a prana from that mechanism. So this is why all the inhales are through the nose. First exhale out the nose. Second inhale through the nose, exhale by blowing. Third inhale through the nose, out on an H. All right, check in with your posture. We're going to go right into it. Excuse me for one moment, I must blow my nose. All right. Just as your awareness went to ride inside, I say to you, access to the entire world is in this container. And as we face our mirror neurons to each other, and now we breathe, let us enjoy this connection. Let us celebrate it. Checking in with your posture, a slight tug to the top of the head, tuck of the chin, shoulders down. Breathing in through the nose to create set-up breath. That's that exhale first. Breathe in, blow it out, empty out. Good. And breathing in through the nose. Exhale out the nose, Ujjayi's breath in the back of the throat. Breathing in through the nose. Blow the air out the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Open the mouth on an H, exhale. Put your awareness at the top of your head, breathing in through the nose. Exhale out the nose. Bring your awareness to your elbows, breathing in through the nose. Blow the air out the mouth nice and long, blow it out. Bring awareness to the back of the knees. Inhale through the nose. Exhale the H sound into the ground. Return your awareness to the top of the head, breathing in through the nose. Exhale out the nose, nice and long. Good. Breathing in through the nose. Put the awareness at the elbows again. Blow the air out the mouth, nice and long. Elbows awareness. Breathing in through the nose. Awareness at the back of the knees, meandering through the body. Exhale the H into the ground. Return to simple breath awareness or simple conscious breathing flow, which means breath awareness would mean I'm observing my breath, but I'm doing nothing to it. Or conscious breath flow, I'm moving my breath flow. I'm conscious of the flow of breath. Do one of those and feel right now in your being if body, mind, and breath are moving in one direction. And if so, I invite you to utter the words, I am anchored. To yourself, I am anchored. If it's not fully present for you, you can say, I am anchoring. Because again, this isn't about sugarcoating. It's about owning what is. It's about noticing and seeing what's happening. Good. And so open the eyes for a moment now, feeling having anchored. We then balance and we charge. That's how this particular practice works. Anchor, balance, charge. We're going to balance now. And so take a breath through your nostrils. See if your nostrils are open. If they are, the conscious breath work has already brought that to you. But if they're not, then Anulom Vilom, alternate nostril breathing, is going to bring it for you. And so the yogis knew that the right nostril is connected to the left brain, that the left nostril connected to the right brain. And not only brain, but pathways in entirety. The right was connected to the solar pathway. The left connected to the lunar feminine pathway. And so when you go into meditate and one of your nostrils is open, don't. I'm a rebel when it comes to this. I read what the yoga text was trying to say, and in some cases they're very direct. They said, open up the sushumna before you go to reach for cosmic states. Why? Let's go there. I said this was about oneness today. It wasn't just going to be from an airy place. This is very unpacked. This is very grounded information. That when your one nostril is open, most people don't know, every 3 to 4 hours the body switches nostril dominance. One opens, then the other opens, then the other opens. And does that on its own. And it does that energetically. Because if your body knows that you need more go, go, go energy, it's going to open the right nostril. If it knows that you need more spaciousness, more feminine aspect, it's going to open the left nostril. And so sometimes I'll eavesdrop on what my system is doing, right? I'll say, and see what it is. But let me tell you that when you know that, and I'm going to ask you to repeat it, whether you unmute or not, I don't care. But this sushumna, this central channel, is the physical representation of oneness in the body. When the nostrils are both open, that path is showing you that the single channel is open. Now go meditate. Now enter meditation. Because, you see, if one nostril's open, my entire being is celebrating what? Duality. Dualness, which is part of the creation here, right? However, I'm not always wanting to receive teachings through that. I'm wanting to connect to oneness, connect to this Sushumna channel that has so much transcendence and connection to my highest good, as I uttered earlier. And so, taking the right hand, folding in the middle 3 fingers, we're not going to use the hand mudra that is often used. We're going to use a simpler one today, the thumb, the pinky, okay? Follow along nice and easy. Let's just do it together and enter together. And once we're flowing in the alternate nostril breathing, you can go at your own pace if you like, and I'll offer my pace, okay? Checking in with the posture. Again, posture being very key, keeping the top of the head tugged up, tuck of the chin, shoulders down. Here we go, breathing in. You're going to block the right nostril when I say so, breathing in. Block the right nostril, exhale out the left. Here we go, exhale. And inhale through the left. Block the left with the pinky, exhale out the right. Good, let there be sound, in through the right. Block the right, exhale out the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale, in the left, out the right. Sorry about that. And in through the right. Block the right with the thumb, exhale out the left. Inhaling through the left. Excellent posture. Exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale out the right. Inhale through the right, or at your own pace. Exhale out the left. And inhale through the left. Exhale out the right. Let go of both nostrils, breathing in through both nostrils. Little wiggle of the nose if you need it. And exhale any which way you like. Opening the eyes. By show of hands, are both nostrils open? Can you show me? Yes, no? Yes, yes? Everybody there, look around, look around. All right. I've done this with rooms upon rooms, and we get about 90% of the room opens up in one round. And the reason that is not hocus pocus. It's because I'm human and you're human, and we just proved that the human body has this capability. I've noticed sometimes the last people to the party are the thinkers. Sometimes there's people caught in their mind. No judgment. We just go in again. And so, considering we're doing this as a group, to practice oneness and connect as a group, we reach back to those friends that didn't achieve that yet, and we go in together, and we get there together. Here we go, alternate nostril breathing, another 1 minute. Bask in it, knowing that this is the technique for balance. So many people running around the world wondering, how do I create balance? How do I create balance? This is the root way to create balance in our nervous system. And it's not just a word you're giving by describing the feeling. We are opening the left channels and the right channels. When they both open, balance. And so feel as you breathe right now that you can procure both anchoring, the feeling of centering, grounding, anchoring. Some people don't vibe with the maritime anchor word, so centering, grounding, and balancing. Can we feel that we've cultivated some balance? Now, check in with the posture. Can you feel that your posture is being held up by your chi between the vertebrae and not by your muscles? Can you feel that, anyone? And if not, no judgment. But if you do, okay, good. Starting to feel for chi emanating up my spine to hold me up with no effort. This should be a logic that we live with, and yet no children are being taught that until they are, right? Let's go do this. All right, and so one more minute, alternate nostril breathing, and then we'll go to the charge. Take the right hand, fold in the middle 3 fingers, go at your pace or mine. Breathing in, set up breath, breathe in. Block the right nostril, exhale out the left, nice and long. And listen to the sound of your breathing, breathing in through the left. Block the left with the pinky, exhale out the right. Breathing in through the right. Block the right, exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Exhaling out the right. In through the right. Exhaling out the left. Inhale through the left. And finish it out. Exhale out the right. Let go of both nostrils, breathing in. Access to the entire world is in this space. I ask you right now to put on the grace of world peace. Let us breathe to world peace, even as we are learning, even as we are heading from one technique to the next. Take your next breath and ignite, as if knowing that this entire world connection is in this simple, beautiful connection container and space. As you breathe peace, feel yourself anchored, feel yourself balanced, and then as you put that intention out there with the eyes closed, I invite you to know that the practices with the eyes open out there, Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, eyes open practices, open the eyes, and realize that the meditation that we are in when our eyes are closed can be continued with our eyes open. It's just up to us to retain the state, to even be interested in retaining the state. And so do me a favor, those of you that meditate, close the eyes for a moment. Can you feel how strongly you're in meditation? Put there by the breath work. Go ahead and open the eyes back up and report, if you will. Do you feel yourself in meditation? Yes? Can I get oh yes? Wonderful. And so beginning to own the logic that breath work puts us into meditation was owned by the yogis thousands of years ago and others. But for us to be the modern day walking the earth, wonderful, beautiful humans, knowing that this power is upon us to use, not to just sit and close the eyes. If the yawn comes, yawn big, everyone. Got a reminder. Wonderful. If the yawn comes through, yawn big. Thank you. And so, yeah, let's enjoy what we're feeling for a moment. Again, checking in with posture, that posture's being held up by chi. Holding this understanding that we're not just practicing, but we're in the experience of oneness, therefore world peace. Blessing the world with your peace as the honored center of the universe that you are. Oh, blessed world peace is. I am. I am. World peace is. Feel as those words are uttered into the space, our power. Doesn't sound like a weak space to me. It sounds like an empowered space of chi. And so, all right, we're anchored. And now I invite you to utter the words if you're feeling that your nostrils are open and you're feeling it. I am balanced or I am balancing. Go for it. I am balanced. And so, having ignited the anchoring breath and owned I am anchored, I am centered, I'm grounded, having balanced together and feeling I am balanced, we now move on to charge. And we charge these batteries, we charge the chi through our being and through our 72 million pathways, and we feel what it's doing to us. And as it's doing it to us, we allow ourselves to aim that energy. Oh, what just came to the party? Intention. So often we're doing breath work and things like it for healing, for medicine. Great, super honoring, beautiful. We're going to keep that. But how about what I'm thinking, feeling, igniting as I'm charging? Peace, world peace is. I am. And then we see how that blesses our life, our very life, as we walk out into the world after this, in the state of oneness, experiencing the next moment, having been informed by what intention you put out before. Oh, is this the magic that they wrote about in that cosmic experience the yogis wrote about? Yes. This way of traversing the world, knowing your connection to the universe, to God, to whatever word you use for it, is unbroken. And that the breath is the glue, is the wire. It was gifted on the first day and it will be with you literally until the end. What a wonderful secret it contains by knowing that. That it is this friend when you ignite it, when it isn't just left at the mat or in one technique. It is now the string running through body, mind, and spirit, getting them to move in one direction. If you feel body, mind, and spirit moving in one direction, you vibe with that right now. Do you feel that? Can I get an oh yes? Let's get the unmute real quick. I want to hear someone oh yeses.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Feel some of your posture being held up by chi, not by muscles. Can I get an oh yes?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful. And for you
Yes.
breath workers out there, isn't it fun to take moments we don't often talk about, like posture being held up by chi? Whoa, let's pass that around as shared logic more often. Feeling uplifted. How many of us feeling quite a difference from when we started the hour, chi wise? Can I get an oh yes?
Oh, yes.
And so owning
Oh,
that.
yes.
And now
Oh,
let's
yeah.
charge. Awesome. Oh yes. Thank you, Brother Robin. Woo. Thank you, family. Let's charge. And this is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna leave this open. Leave unmuted just in case somebody have questions, and then we'll go into the technique. And so we're going to utilize a technique of charge, of activation, energization. And we're going to do so by inhaling through the nose, and as we do, we pull the palms towards our heart, towards ourselves, and then we blow out as we give away and let go of that which is coming through us. How amazing of givers can we be if that which comes to us we're so willing to give away, knowing that it's always coming, it's coming through, and I can give it away. And so in breath work, in this breath work, your invitation is to not hold and sit in thoughts, but rather to use your intention to give away. Perhaps it's an intention of energetics you're giving away. When we get to the culmination of this, we'll use I am statements where we repeat I am unconditional love. We'll breathe it in, we'll blow it out, give it away. But when we're in the technique, it's up to you. It's your singular battery, you as the center of the universe, whatever it is you're wanting to intend. I'd like to share with you, if anybody has any issues with sweeping the arms, or you've had any kind of anything like a back surgery or anything like that, you don't want to sweep the arms, don't sweep the arms. We're in understanding of you, no problem. Be where you are. At the same time, for those of you wanting to discover and see what this is, the inhalation through here, the exhalation blowing out, is simply a movement of qi using the Laodong points as we know in Qigong. These points here, look how many things you've created with these hands. That's how magical they are in this life. And the magic continues as we sweep through the qi and we move qi. Breathing in towards us and through the heart. Okay, it's not that I'm breathing to and to the spot. I'm breathing through and then through, and in this way, my whole energy field expands. I become even more effective at what I'm moving energetically. Okay, so this technique moves in 3 stages. I'm going to begin with a setup breath. Perhaps you've already noticed that when we begin techniques in the modality I share, Life Force Mastery, we begin techniques with a setup breath. That means you begin inhale and you deeply exhale first. The reason for this is that if you ask a doctor, an MD right now, what happens when you breathe in to my heart? Heart rate speeds up. What happens as I progressively exhale? Heart rate slows down. Are we really a society of people that needs to begin our breathing techniques with the heart rate speeding up and begin on an inhale? No. Chicken or the egg? Great. You can breathe first on the inhale or the exhale, but to take a slight inhale so as to then deeply exhale, in Life Force Mastery we call that setup breath. And so I invite you to do that for the rest of your life. It's a wonderful way to begin. Any technique is check with the posture, slight inhale, you hear me say, and then a deep exhale. And we usually blow it out. And then we enter the technique. And so the technique has 3 portions. After the setup breath, we will begin like a locomotive, speeding up from semi-slow to what I call pump pace. And so it's going to go now we don't keep going faster. We get to pump pace and we stay there, and you'll hear me say it. So we'll stay at pump pace, and as we're pumping, we're allowing through. Now, let me say to you, any of you that are thinking, well, wow, we're going to start moving the breath, we're going to start feeling stuff, stuff's going to start coming through like it does in conscious connected breathing. Usually, nope. Usually on our back, we're tapping into things emotionally in the emotional system that also tap in through past lives, through dreaming, through dream states. DMT is released in a different way. When we sit up, other chemicals are released, and just because they haven't been written about doesn't mean they're not happening, but it's different. It's a different hold. And so the ability for you to trust that you're pumping energy through and that there's no worry element sitting in my ego. Let it go, breathe through, be with what you're feeling by all means. And by all means, be willing to stop when you give the permission statement. Yeah, but I'm not going to take us that far per round, okay? We're not going to go blow the lid off. You're going to see that with a controlled 30 some odd breaths per round, we go somewhere, and we go somewhere beautiful together, round by round. All right. Access to the entire world, you know where. Here it is. Feel it. Oh, beautiful brothers and sisters of the planet. Peace is, we are, I am. Feel it. And so we're going to go into this. Step one is the charging. And then we're going to get to the end of the charging, and I'm going to clap at 10. I'm going to clap. You'll then do 10 more breaths. I'll clap at 5 again and go 5, 4, and then we'll slow down 3, 2, and then on 1, you're going to gather that last nice inhale, go to step 2, which is blow it out, hold it out. We'll hold out for a period of time, but we'll do it together. Then we'll breathe in and hold in, and we'll do it together. And you'll see how taking a simulation of what Wim Hof does, putting it into synchronous breathing together and then causing the holds to happen at once causes a group elevation into oneness. It causes a group elevation into meditation. Any group wishing to create deep group meditation or a group of meditators, do this. All right. Here we go, beautiful brothers and sisters. Your aura's beaming, loving your faces, your smiling faces, your energy with that you're contributing to this world peace celebration. Let's enjoy. Instead of asking questions about the technique, enter the technique, see how it goes first round. We'll take questions if there are any after first round, okay? And so checking in with the posture excellent. Breathing in, set up breath. Blow the air out, empty out. Here we go, and keep it right there. Pump pace. Good job. Ten. Slow it down. 3, 2, keep the posture. 1, breathe it in, blow it out, hold it out. Now look, hold it out, keep your arms straight out. As you hold out, bounce your palms. You feel your palms buzzing? That's your chi to the ground. From your chi palms to the ground, glorious. Breathe it in, rake it in, hold it. Breathe in. Hold it, and if you don't touch your chest, you can feel the buzzing of the hands, the palms, the chi moving through your heart. And blow it out long. Listen to the blow. Drop the arms, close the eyes, check for meditation. Are you in? If you're in, smile upon it. Put a hand up. Give me a heads up with the hand up. May I see? May I see who's in? All right. Yes. And if you weren't before and you now really are, feel the magnetization of your spine. What I called your magic energy rod earlier in this session. And let the childlikeness dance around this concept. Be children again. That your spine is your magic energy rod. And oh, wait a minute. The posture's being held up by the chi, not by the muscles. Can I get a oh yes? Can I get a right hand from anybody feeling their posture being held up by chi? Yeah. Goodbye back pain if I know how to do this and I keep my back muscles supple and loose. This becomes more important than it was. Okay. Feel the magnetization of the meditation, because it'll be funny to you how much more magnetized it is after 5 rounds. We'll probably go 3 rounds, just honoring everybody's time today. And so, okay, here we go. Let's rock 3 more rounds of this. Check in with your posture, that your posture is excellent. Oh, wait, am I just thinking about me and my life? That's fine too. But remember Rabia's invitation about let's focus out. Oh, yeah. Oneness. World peace is. I am. Feel the goodness, the grace. Perhaps you have something loaded into your I am statement when you say I am. Perhaps something you're working with. Ooh. Rabia, can I dedicate a round to something? Yes, you can do whatever you want. But the joy in that, yeah? I laugh about it because how beautiful, right? We're going to go 3 more rounds, and I'm going to invite you now. As a sovereign being, with this breath work is a way to build and own our sovereignty, our power, not from an ego place, but from a place where we're honoring the big connection, right? The big connection to God, the big connection to spirit, universe, and that I'm here representative of. And so, you're very powerful. Congratulations. I love you and your power. How about it? Let's intend. Next 3 rounds, you choose. What are you intending? Into your I am statement, into your I am, when you say I am. That which comes after it is the 2 most powerful words in the language. The yogis knew this and traced it all the way back to a word in Sanskrit that's happening while you're breathing. They believed that under your breath was the mystical so hum means I am. and they traced the silence of the breath to saying that, as if the breath is saying, so I am in each breath. That's how romantic the yogis were about it. So own that, feel that. It's that beautiful that my I am is speaking through my breath, and my intention fills that. Then what I am. What do you wish for, magical one of the planet? What do you wish to put out today? All right, enough talking. Here we go. 3 rounds. Check in with the posture, that the posture is excellent. Perhaps feeling the magnetized rod holding up more than it was in the early parts of the session. Hallelujah. All right, here we go. Breathing in, set up breath. Blow it out, let it go. And begin. Keep it going. That's our pump pace. Ten. 5. Slow it down. Breathe it in. Blow it out. Hold it out. Hold it out. Bounce of the palms, chi moving through the hands. If you want to drop your arms and feel what it feels like, raise your posture back up. With the arms down, feel how up it is. It's like you're floating. And breathe it in. Hold it in. But let your shoulders down. If you puffed up a little high, let go of a little tuft of air, and let the shoulders relax and hold. Keep holding. And blow it out. Good. Anybody not camera on, if you can go camera on, I appreciate it. We're getting into more energetics. I like being able to know people are okay by visual sight. If you can, if you're open. If not, I won't judge it. No big deal. But I like to watch after people as they're breathing. And then forgot to check in with that part of Zoom. And feel what you're feeling, have what you're having, checking in with everybody. Feeling good? Everybody on the up and up? If anybody is with any feelings or emotions, know that you're in a safe place. Okay, you're in a love container. Thank you for checking in, everyone. Thank you for your smiles and your grace. Thank you for the beam on your face. Oh, it's so good. So good. Respiratory system. Spirit again. Spirit again. Spirit again. That's what breathing is. Oh my gosh, let's live that way, knowing it is spirit again, spirit again. And then let's color that in. All right, thank you for those of you coming on online video-wise. Appreciate you. Feel what you're feeling. Again now, posture. Can I get a oh yes? Hands in the air. Feeling it raising up? Yes, look at those hands fly up. Why is that? Because this class is a class on levitation. You didn't know, did you? Why don't we see more people levitating? Because we don't see people doing 3 hours of particular said breath work or 2 hours. But let me tell you, this is where you get levitation. This is where you get it. This is where they got this, where that achieving of chi up more than density down. Now, there's your recipe. I slipped it in for anybody. That's it. You got it. Okay. Chi up in a way where it is so up. Do you feel how up you are right now? There's a oh yes to that in your body. I saw your hands up, and yes is because it's, remember I said it'd be laughable? Let's go again. Here we go, round two. I invited you masterful ones. Unmute your microphones. I want to hear sounds. Mics might not pick up the breath sounds, but if they do, I want to hear them. And I want you to enjoy the basking we usually get in person, that Spirit put there, the sound of breath, that I can hear your sound of breath. Milen and Lori and Hemant and Tara and Katie and Peter and Solveig and Kelly and Carolina and Nicole and Jirius and Badgie and Robin. Feel your center is the center. And now choose your intention for the next round. Here we go, checking in with the posture. Inhale, set up breath. Blow it out, let it go. And here we go. Ten. Slow it down. Breathe it in. Blow it out. Drop the arms if you'd like. Leave them up if you'd like. You're sovereign. Feel the posture. Feel the levitation. Oh man, I had no idea we were going to learn levitation on the class today. I'm so glad I came. Breathing in, breathe it in, hold it in. Hold it in. I'm just celebrating the joy of this whole experience, you all. Don't mind me and my zaniness. Feel what you're feeling. Blow it out. Your intention being coming alive, more alive, as it rides upon the breath. Feel mastery potential. Mastery of the energy happening in you, as you, through you. Not just the word mastery for the sake of it, but what does it mean to master the flow of energy through you? It means that I do choose to stay connected to the highest good that's there for me. I'm not going to choose that which is pulling me in the other directions, whether it be bad choices for food, whether it be whatever it be. This attunes us. Feel it, enjoy it. And so one more round, and then we'll take a moment of noticing and feel what we all got, okay? Here we go. Opening the eyes, petals to the outer world, if you will. Thank you. I know it's a real wonderful pull inwards, right? The meditation. Hands in the air, meditating. Feel it. Everybody feel the magnetization of your meditation. Thank you. The oh yes of feeling that is what the body temple has as a yes. But now, are your eyes blinking? Have a look at my eyes. I'm in the non-blinking state. When you're in the non-blinking state, the chakras have been cleared up to here, meaning you've done the work down here, and energy, chi, is wanting to rise up to the point where my eyes don't blink. This non-blinking state reactivates more the first eye than these two. Again, the oneness that we achieved through alternate nostril breathing went from 2 to 1. And this, the eyes, from 2 to 1. Oneness experience upon us. If your eyes are not blinking, you're in the non-blinking state. It is happening by virtue of being inundated with chi. But let me tell you what else I just gave you, or not gave you. You received it And it's a giving receiving. Why not own it, Rabia? The teaching of undivided attention. We don't have people often come and say, hey, if you can look at someone and not blink, you're gifting them the gift of undivided attention. You know, I'm not dividing. And so, wow. And feel it in your body. Feel your ability to not blink. Feel the undivided attention. It's powerful. When you give it to someone, like right after we cultivate it and you look someone in the face, in the eyes, they know it's piercing. They know the power they've just generated. All right, here we go. Whoosh, my eyes are watering now. Feeling a lot. Feeling a lot. All right, let's enjoy this last round. Let's enjoy, oh, by the way, do the round if you'd like, eyes open, all the way to the hold, and see how much your non-blinking state works with you. And if you blink, don't judge, right? It's not a competition, but it is a noticing, and it is a building of awareness. Everybody levitating, can I get a, oh yes, feeling your spine up even more, even more. All right, woo woo, there's Rob. Robin just floated off the screen. All right, bye, Rob. All right, everyone. More than anything, breathing together brings about an unbounded joy, a human, beautiful joy. If you're feeling that joy, let it up. If not, if you're feeling a sadness for the world today, let us meet you there and know that you are so at home. Treating it from within inside your body temple with the great grace and joy that shows up, though, is a beautiful way to live. It's a beautiful way to remain empty and remain connected to that oneness. And so I invited in words today. I know I spoke a lot of things into the space today in addition to the experience, but thank you for hearing me and letting me offer that up. And so here we go, one last round, and then let's hear a moment of noticing of what everybody got, and we'll bring it to a close. We're going to go just a few minutes over. If you got to go, I understand, but just honoring everybody's time, making mention that we seek to bring that to a close on time. All right. We'll probably go 10 minutes over. All right, here we go. Checking in with the posture, that the posture is excellent. Set up breath, breathe it in, and blow it out. Here we go, and slow it down. Drop the arms, hold the body in meditative posture, keep the eyes open. Notice the eyes don't need to blink. The entrainment of the non-blinking state. One of the yogis I studied with had me color in a quarter-sized black dot and stare at it. And achieve the non-blinking state that way. When I discovered it through the breath, I went back. And I said, why didn't you show me this? And he said, well, we don't do that. And I discovered that I discovered something. That the ability to generate non-blinking state was more powerful with the breath than it was staring at a black dot. They both did the same thing, though. Generating energy through your eyes, through your intenders. Feel the joy if it's there. Feel whatever quality's there. And now, I left you mid-hold. Breathe in, hold. If you haven't, breathe in. I left you mid-hold. Hopefully everybody navigated further. Got too excited. Okay, if you probably held. If you didn't hold, exhale. Sorry about that. Didn't bring the captain didn't land the ship. All right. I gotta laugh at it. Sometimes we're that in love with this material, you all. I know you know what I'm talking about, breath workers. So feel what you're feeling, have what you're having, despite the landing slight turbulence. And raise the arms back up. Repeat after me, if you will. I am unconditional love.
I am unconditional.
Breathe it in. Blow it out. Give it away. Reach down. Unmute your thing. Unmute your mic. Unmute. Everybody. I want to hear everybody's voice. Here we go. Repeat after me, if you will. I am pure joy. I am pure joy.
Pure joy.
Breathe it in. Blow it out. Give it away. Repeat after me, if you will. I am beauty.
I am
Beauty.
Breathe it in. Blow it out. Give it away. Now repeat it for any parts of you that didn't buy it the first time. I am beauty. I am
I
beauty.
am beauty.
Breathe it in. Blow it out. Give it away. I am forgiveness.
I am forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Breathe it in. Blow it out. Give it away. I am forgiven.
I am forgiven.
Breathe it in. Blow it out. Give it away. I am healthy, whole, and complete.
I am healthy, whole.
Whole and complete.
Breathe it in. Blow it out. I am creation completing itself.
I am creation completing itself.
Breathing it in. Blow it out. And anchor it in now. In through the nose. Exhale out the nose. In through the nose. Blow it out. In through the nose. Exhale the H. Push your palms into the ground, into the earth. Sweep the palms up together into prayer. Little bow of thanks to each other in creating today's practice together. Opening the eyes to the outer world. World peace is, everyone. We just ignited the peace while learning some fun things to take with us. Give it up for yourselves real quick. Just feel the goodness and the joy and the access that we just created. Woo! Comment from the state of moments of noticing. When I teach clients one-on-one, after creating the what we're creating, the most important thing I call out right now is available for you right now. It's called moment of noticing. I noticed after many years of this work that we're teaching people to create state change, but then after the state change, they'll go on and we'll use the state change, but the most valuable moment to keep the state change was to be aware of it. And so right now, feel what you're feeling, have what you're having, unmute, and one at a time, just share out what you're having, anything you want to share, and move it right along. Moment of noticing. And when you do breath work from here on out in this way, take your moment of noticing before you move on. You'll own it greater. Thank you. Please share. Anyone?
Embodying light.
Embodying light. What a beautiful thing to get to be and to have. And I can see that in you. That's so beautiful. Thank you. Do I pronounce it correctly? Himant?
Himant.
Himant. We celebrate people's lives here at the end of their share. And so celebrate Himant's life. Woo! Yeah.
And I celebrate all of yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Woo. Who else would like to share? What are you feeling? What are you having? Yes, Lori.
Lightness of being.
Lightness of being. How many people out there looking for lightness of being, and you created it where you're sitting and standing? Thank you. Beautiful. We celebrate Lori's life and her lightness of being. Yes, please. Say it again, Dad.
I feel peace.
You feel peace. Yes, beautiful. To feel the peace and to feel peace on earth and to see the peace on your face. This is my father, everyone. Mom and Dad. Hi, Mama. It's my mom and pops. So thank you. Celebrate their lives for a moment there.
Yeah,
Thank you for the share. Mama, did you want to say something too?
I love you all.
Oh, your sweetheart. She's ignited in her heart. She's in her heart. Thanks, Mama. Who else would like to share? What are you feeling? What are you having?
Wait, we have to celebrate your mom.
Oh, I thought we celebrated them together. That's why I didn't do that. So, okay, celebrate my mama. You're so sweet. Thank you. Who's next? Who would like to share?
Peaceful connection.
Connection.
Peaceful connection.
Peaceful connection. To know that we can access a peaceful connection that strongly, something that moved me about breath, that I can be a peaceful connection and be as one. So thank you for that. Sweet. Celebrate. Woo. Jump right in, y'all. Jump right in. Yes.
Allie,
Go for it, Allie.
alive, singleness, single eye.
Ah, yeah. The oneness aspect of the single I come from. Yeah. How about it? Did you get into a little bit, did you get into a little bit of the non-blinking state at any point in it? Did you feel a little bit of that?
Yes, when we were breathing.
Okay. Yes.
It was
Beautiful.
easy for me to
Celebrate.
be in the single-eyedness.
Yes. And so, you hear about single-pointedness, you hear about it in a lot of spiritual teachings, but to unpack it so
Oh
real,
my
right?
God, yes.
Yeah, yes. So thank you, Allie. Celebrate Allie's life. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Who else would like to share? Milen, Tara,
Uh,
Kelly.
I'm experiencing grounded joy.
Yes.
Embodied, grounded.
You look it. You really do. You look it. You look like not the joy that I'm doing with a lot of it up here. Yours is right now very grounded and yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's celebrate Tara's grounded joy. Beautiful. Anyone else want to share?
It's a joy,
A little louder.
joyful energy and peace and connectedness.
Beautiful, joyful energy, peace, connectedness. I can feel those in my being from having breathed with you. From your intention through to mine, how can we celebrate greater? Oh my. Thank you for those words. Beautiful. Woo! Celebrate, everyone. All right. Anyone else? Last couple shares. We'll bring it to a
deep
close.
presence in my body.
Deep presence in your body. Beautiful. You all, the world's pulling at our attention so often. Even breath workers, when they leave it at the mat and they don't ignite the breath in the now as now important. Now it's reasoning. Now I can access through that presence. It truly points back to that quote I'd said of you cannot breathe the future or past breath. The breath is definitively connected to the now. And so presence. Thank you. Let's celebrate her presence. Beautiful. All right.
Okay, can I say something?
Yes, please, Robin.
Okay, I feel back home.
Hmm.
It's difficult to put into words. I mean, really, so grateful for your sharing today. It's body, mind, and spirit, and especially spirit, and really, it's like coming back home.
Oh,
I don't want
feel
to
that.
share too much, but we need spirit back in the world. And so I feel with this group of people this afternoon with you that I've come home again. Again. We keep on coming home.
Ooh, feel that, everyone. Ooh, let's honor Robin's life standing for creating the IBF Breathing Arts, and with his small family of breathing arts creating these particular workshops. I want to honor his life for standing for art through the breath and the way that IBF Breathing Arts is sharing it. So big love to Robin. Thank you, Robin. I'm gonna put something in the chat for you all to take with you if you'd like. The first one is a link to be a part of the One Breath Symbol mission. If you put your email in there, I'll have you in the group of people to contact to let you know what we're doing with that One Breath symbol. And I believe I have it wired to gift you my book. My newest book called Respiratory will be emailed to you for download for just putting in your email there, and that way I have your email for when we do work with this one breath symbol. I'm also going to put my website and my email if anybody would like to get in contact with me. They have two projects going on that you might be interested in. One particularly is doasone.org, which is seeking to unite 1 billion people to breathe together synchronously on the planet. We're going to do something nobody's done for breath workers. When you look at a map and you usually see like things from around the world that are on a map, they're populating all kinds of other things, but we're going to populate breath workers and where they are. So breath workers are going to get a special colored dot so that people can discover you as they come to breathe, and they breathe together, and then they go, oh wait, look, there's a purple dot near my area. Oh, purple dot. Oh, there's a breath worker in my town. Cool. And so we're going to do that. It's going to take a moment, but we're getting started with the new launch in about a month and a half. So we're heavy at it. It's going to be fun. You're going to have fun pointing there to ignite breath. Omnibreath.com is where my breathing school is, and anybody that wants to get in contact with me, whether for one-on-one or any kind of work, just reach out. Here is my email. I'm about to put that in right now. If anybody would like to reach out, and I'm available to you in any way, anything you're having going on. Please reach out. I'm your brother, and glad to hear and share in this wonderful journey with you. All right, I think that's all I wanted to share. Thanks for staying over, everybody. I'll stay for Q&A after in case anybody has any questions, by all means. Otherwise, we are complete for today. And again, honoring the IBF Breathing Arts. And,
Thank you, Rabie. I'm going to stop the recording. If people want to stay over, that's fine, but I'm going to stop the recording now, okay?
Very good.